Hello and welcome to my final presentation for the Educational Technology course in Online Master of Computer Science for 2020. And for this final presentation, we are going to discuss gamification for health and physical education. Through the presentation, I will be discussing what is gamification, how it can be useful to different the contexts, and why especially I choose health and physical education, and what is the final projects that I have been working on, and what is output. So first, let's speak about gamification and the concept of gamifying processes. And one of the biggest misconceptions that I find is that people think that gamification is gaming, and basically gamification in itself is somewhat taking the gaming elements of games and applying it in a different context, but it's not adding games to your solutions or products. And basically, in when they define gamification, they say it's the application of game design elements and game principles in non-gaming contexts. It's basically taking what we have learned from games and applying it in business, in health, in education, and in very diverse and different contexts. And you can find gamification everywhere, and it's basically used to improve people's experience and make somewhat dull and boring processes into fun one. So for example, you can see here that making this simple gamified system of building your own pizza is very fun than just choosing your pizza from a menu. And currently, gamification is very widespread across many businesses and sectors. You can see it for example, in physical applications like Fitbit and Nike Go and these kinds of applications. You can see it even in businesses like LinkedIn and HR systems. You can see it in education systems, in reward systems. And basically, even if you didn't take notice of these systems, gamification is widespread everywhere. And there are so many famous examples of gamifications that we see every day and we don't notice. So for example, you can see the way Google is doing their doodles every while, and how they gamify the searching process, how the some systems use levels, badges, and points to make their systems more fun and more engaging. And now more than 50% of businesses are trying to gamify their processes. We see this in very big corporate names, for example, Deloitte, PwC, and SAP. They're all using HR systems that have elements of gamification with points, with badge, with leadership boards, and these stuff. So why gamifying a system or a process is useful, and how we can take benefit of its effect. So basically, when you gamify a system, you add some gaming mechanics like earning points, receive reward, overcoming challenges, and unlock new levels. And these kinds of dynamics or tools makes your brain excited and want to overcome this challenge and want to earn these points. And what it does is that it releases dopamine. It makes you feel good. It makes you motivated. It makes you complete tasks that sometimes you don't want to complete. And from this perspective, one of the biggest sectors that gamification can be applied for is education, and especially because these the age sector of education is kids, and they are already very like they see games and video games and movies and cartoons and animes everywhere in their environment, and taking advantage of having education into this ecosystem of these kids can really be helpful for them to learn real life skills, not only to have like having fun or doing some tasks that doesn't have a meaning, but when you apply gamification in education context, it can really reflect into real life problem solving techniques that will last for life. And some of the gaming mechanics that are currently used in gamification in education are, for example, keeping scoring of the students, giving them ranks and levels, giving them badges, unlocking extra items, using avatars, having leaderboards, so we increase competitiveness. And some people think that when we apply these mechanics or adding these elements or tools into your system, it makes it magically engaging and fun to use. And what I find from research that sometimes if it's used in a wrong way or or overusing these tools can really lead to side effects and can even backfire. So we have to take care while we are adding these tools, and we have to test with children how they are responding to these tools. And I choose to use gamification for health education. For example, learning about foods, learning about mental health, learning about meditation, yoga poses, physical activities. All these subjects, I find that they are very underrated and they are not learned in the right way in schools. And basically, this was something that I have suffered while I'm growing up, that I really wish that I would learn about that different types of food. What is, when I was very young, what is the meaning of fibers? What is the meaning of carbohydrates? What's the meaning of protein? And when you mix these stuff, how it will affect your body. These kinds of knowledge is really lacking in our educational system, and looking into this would be very beneficial to children. From my opinion. And already in the market there are some applications that are already leading in this market with applications that teach children the different types of food and teaching how to basic cooking skills, or applications that reward kids for losing weight and giving them badges and making them heroes. And here where came the idea for an application for health and physical education while having fun, which I call taima. In Arabic, it basically means delicious or delightful. And the idea of this application is to engage children while learning about the health and physical education. And these are some of the screens of the application that we are going to see now. I started my development of these project by looking into the market and seeing the competitors and how they are doing. Then I started to build a low fidelity wireframe with the screens and the ideas. You can see here that I have low fidelity wireframes for the profile page, for the badges, and for many games, for cooking, for and when the child gets points and all of these. And then I take it to the next step where I built a high fidelity wireframe. But before that, let me show you the competitor evaluation or research. I looked into different competitors and how they are doing it, and what color scheme they are using, what are the images they are using, and I started to build the application. I used a very delightful color scheme. I started to build screen by screen using very delightful controls that engage children. And as you can see here, I have games that involve learning about different types of food, learning fun information about your food, videos that is related to food and health and yoga and working out, having leaderboards, and having badges and levels and all these stuff. To build this system, I used React Native as my mobile development platform, and as you can see here, the development is really good with React Native, building controllers and the screens, and this was the output application. As you can see here, the child chooses one of his avatars that he really likes. So for example, let's say this one, and I will name him after my younger son, for example, Yusuf, giving him the age of the child and clicking next. Now the child have the choice to either watch videos, play games, or learn and grow. And from watching videos, you can see here that in the system we have full control over the video contents and the different sections of the application. For example, healthy food, workout, yoga, and basically he can watch these videos. He can also play, for example, games about learning about healthy and unhealthy food. So he can drag and drop healthy food for the kid to eat, as you can see here. And if he tried to make him eat unhealthy food, he would refuse. And the child can also learn about different foods and learning fun facts about these foods. And to manage this content, I was lucky to find one of the very fun and easy to use content management systems. It's called Strappy. It's a headless content management system. In here you can define content types from the interface, and you can also fill the content. Here you can fill the videos, video categories, characters, foods, different types of foods. So with this application, I have tried it with multiple kids to see they're engaging with the application with kids from age 5 to 7, and I found that they got really engaged with the application, and they, although they had minimum knowledge about healthy food and learning these stuff, they started to have interest in these subjects, and it was really interesting. In the future, I'm planning to add more features to publish it on Android and iOS Play, Apple Play Store, and really put it in a stage where it's ready for children to learn more. And the good thing about this application is that the videos we are adding is filtered and controlled by the admin, so the child can only see the videos that we have filtered and choose, not like, for example, platforms like YouTube and other platforms that is really random, where children can land on very unuseful or even harmful videos for them. So in our system, the videos are completely controlled and filtered, and the content is by us. And even the information about the food, the characters, everything. And I hope you like the project and the presentation, and I'm really looking forward for your feedback on these information and output and deliverables. I really had so much fun working on these materials and in this project, and I will make sure to spread the link as soon as it goes live on Google Play. So thank you so much, and have a nice day ahead. Thank you.